Hey everybody, welcome to Comic Crow, and DC's new trans-masculine hero wields the opposite of Flash's Speed Force. I want to talk about this, but real quick. This is a tweet by Mike Miller, and as you can see, it's one's from 2019 and one's from 2022. So the 2019 one, you see War of Realms, Symbiote Spider-Man, Batman Who Laughs, Immortal Hulk, Marvel, DC, Marvel, DC, Marvel, DC, Marvel, DC, DC. So it's pretty much just all dominated by Marvel and DC top 500 comics for April 2019. Let's go into here. Okay, now one thing I want you to notice is you see the quantity of these books. The number one only has 100K, and it's TMNT: The Last Ronin. Now, Last Ronin's a good book. Okay, it's really good, but it's not by Marvel and DC. It's by IDW. Now you still see some Marvel books in here: Hulk, Amazing Spider-Man. I think it'll be impossible to get a Spider-Man book to not sell well. But do you see how everything else is like Image Comics, Boom, Image, Boom, another Marvel, Image, Marvel. DC isn't even on this list. That's how bad they are doing. And in response to doing so fucking terrible, response to people not liking their fucking characters or their stories and not relating to any of the like quote unquote woke shit that's been going on, DC has introduced a new trans masculine hero. Now, I will tell you all the things that I find wrong with this, and it's actually really, really simple. Not like, I don't even care that you have a trans character in your fucking books. It's just anytime that they show up, you make the entire thing about them about that identity and how they're oppressed and how they need to be celebrated. And it's like, it kind of breaks you away from this comic book universe where like legitimately terrible and awful things happen to many of the characters, much worse than being misgendered. And the main issue I kind of have with this is, if this is like a real super hero world where you have people with superpowers, you have super villains, and some of these super villains have like straight up massacred people. Well, when the trans masculine hero shows up and comes across the evil, dirty, violent, psychopathic killer, why would that psychopathic killer care to use the proper gender pronouns? Why wouldn't they just do whatever they can to break that person's spirit? Like, if they're going to be psychologically tortured, are you going to have them be psychologically tortured by a supervillain, locking them into a room, and instead of showing their family being tortured, it's just going to be their dead name? I'm not kidding. All right, you think I'm being mean, you think I'm joking, or I'm like not taking it seriously. I am. This is kind of the thing, though. Like, you're going to make this character's whole thing about them being trans. And that's immediately going to be leading into those very basic questions. And given that they are desperate to make these fictional worlds, quote unquote, reflect our actual world, it will be loaded in with current modern day politics. And instead of getting a superhero story, we will get a story about how terrible it is to be a trans person in the United States. And I don't think very many people are really interested in reading a book like that. But let's read through the article. And again, it's by CBR, so take everything said here with a massive grain of salt. DC's Lazarus Planet Dark Fate #1 will introduce a new trans hero named Jules Jourdain, also known as Circuit Breaker, who holds a strong connection to the Still Force. For those of you who don't know, recently in the comics, they decided to make it so that there are multiple forces beyond just the Speed Force. I think the idea is I think if they did it right, it could be interesting, but at the same time, I'm just not interested in jumping into DC Comics. But this is like a new concept that they have. Writist and artist A.L. Kaplan shared a first look at Circuit Breaker on Twitter. Meet Jules Jourdain, they, aka Circuit Breaker. Kaplan's caption reads, "Can a new hero channel the exonerable Still Force energy to fend off evil?" Debuting DC's Lazarus Planet Dark Fate #1 on Valentine's Day, responding to a comment, Kaplan confirmed Jules is a trans man, but not super into the binary. Okay, like, I said this, right? I was like, stop trying to take characters that already exist and make a character that's supposed to be from that community that you're trying to represent. That is what they're doing here, and this is not like Snowflake and Safe Space. They are trying to produce like an actual hero. Look, by all means, I hope that they're successful. I just don't think it's going to be. I think I know how this is going to play out. I would like to be pleasantly surprised here, but I just know that I'm not going to be. And the way DC is going downhill, they've made no attempts whatsoever at actually listening to the fans of their comics or the former fans of their comics, and instead have gone this route. So I don't think anything's going to change. I think this is going to suck, and I'm waiting for it to release so that I can laugh at it.